is my favorite part of every podcast. This is when we're just fucking around at the beginning, and Tabitha can't speak Italian, apparently.
I don't want to be laughing to this.
This
Costa
terrible
Concordia.
tragedy.
Okay, I'm Tabitha. This is James.
Oh, shit.
Today, we're shitting. James is going to be reacting to the... It's not a doc... It is a documentary. We're reacting to the documentary, but the disaster that happened Friday the 13th in 2012 of the Costa Cordelia. I'm going to slaughter this name every time. Make it a drinking game. Costa Cordelia. There we go. Cheers. Ran aground during a shoreline salute. So this is a new Netflix documentary. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? I remember this. You remember this happening, right? Like,
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it on the news and being like, how did they wreck like 2 feet from the shore? Like, and how did people die? Like, how did you die 2 feet from the shore? Now I have answers to those questions.
Yay.
So as I was watching it, I was like, there's so many like businessy things. Like, I know it's like a disaster and it's horrible, and I'm not diminishing that. That's my disclaimer, is horrible and terrible disclaimer. But there was a lot of businessy things. Like, I was like, oh shit, that take place during this. So James hasn't seen it and hasn't gotten to react to this gold that we are going to dump upon him. So I'm going to take you through like initial situation.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about that situation from a business perspective. And then I'm going to drop the additional things that you learn as you go through the documentary that are just like, what the fuck? All right. So it's a cruise ship setting sail on the ocean. And the captain decides to do a shoreline salute, gets off the, path that they're supposed to be on, goes close to shore. Everyone's like, hey, there's fucking rocks. And heaven forbid, he happens to touch very hard the ship to one of those rocks, and
it's the most delicate way I've ever heard somebody be like, and they ran aground. So you just very gently caressed one of the rocks. Unfortunately, it was in the right place. And, you can just like brush up against the iceberg sometimes. You don't have to sink and kill everyone.
No, I also describe car wrecks as like kisses. So yeah. Ooh, they almost kissed. So he touches the rock and it right into the fucking ship. Boop.
Mm-hmm.
And they are unable to move. And we all know the ship, ends up turning on its side. Very Poseidon if it had gone all the way. But terrible. People died. It was very traumatizing for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So, initial reaction from a business perspective.
Somebody fucked up real bad. Yeah. So one of the things that I did years and years and years ago was that I had an internship with a forensic structural engineer. And this was somebody who like only came out when your building or bridge fell down. Brilliant human. But that was generally their first assessment of like when they got a phone call was the cause was that somebody fucked up real bad. Yeah, I think that's the moment when you should start calling the lawyers. That's just my initial take. Your cruise ship, the hundreds of millions of dollars that cost is now sideways in a place it's not supposed to be. There were lots of people on it. That sounds real bad. I think one of the reasons the captain tends to go down with the ship is just to escape liability. If you're dead, they can't put you in jail.
And so the captain currently is in jail because he left the ship. He was like, oh shit, this is terrible. Yeah. I am leaving.
So when in doubt, don't fuck off. Just be dead, right? That's the way you can do that. I'm not advocating for, people to
disclaimer
for like fixable things, but like if you got to get out, man, like there's only the one way.
Be the last person. I mean, be the person holding the baby at the very end, like
Yeah,
getting off with the baby. Be that person.
yeah,
Do not be the, oh God, that looks terrible while holding your martini glass on the beach.
yeah,
Like, do not be that person. And I'm sure there were those people if they weren't the captain.
yeah.
Like,
Well, like, I would imagine at some point, and like maritime law is weird, that he has some sort of legal obligation to make sure that everyone is safe. Right? That's why they pay you the big
kind of
bucks
your
and why you
job.
get to drive
Yeah.
the big boat. You're supposed to sort of make sure everybody's okay. I don't know. I saw what was the one with Sullenberger, the where he lands the plane in the Hudson River.
Um, Tom Hanks.
Yes, I don't remember the name of the movie. Very good, but no, there's a scene where he's like running up and down the aisle of this plane, making sure everybody is off, like over and over and over again. Like when people tell the story of the fuck up, that's the person you want to be. Like you are doing literally everything you can to make sure that people aren't dead, and then you can assess. All right, what else can
All right. So this is not that story.
a million percent?
So,
Anyway,
so
I fucked off, got a daiquiri, and watched my boat sink.
yeah, this is, I, I don't love it. It's a terrible, terrible thing, but from someone who did like, from HR and from
Mhm,
someone who served as a CEO before, you're like, oh my
yeah.
gosh. So another layer of this, okay, when the ship touching the rock happened, it comes out that he is saying go to port. He already has done the thing. He's got deviated from the
Sure.
ship plan. So already fuck up one.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's realizing they're like, oh shit, there's rocks, despite many people telling him.
Mhm,
Decides to go to port. Calls down to the engine room, lets them know. And the first thing you hear is the person repeats back to them, starboard. And he's like, no, no, no. Like he's yelling. He's like, is it port? I can't think of the other
Port
one.
is left, starboard is
Yeah.
right. Uh,
So he says port again. And then the guy repeats correctly. But there's like a 13-second
sure.
moment there that whenever they ran simulations, that 13 seconds could have saved everybody's life.
Do be like that though.
Yeah. So so one weird thing. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, why I'm like the fucking captain. At the same time, I'm like, these motherfuckers.
yeah.
So you have that. And just like I want to say it was like almost 100 years since the Titanic happened whenever this occurred. Fun, fun, fun.
Yeah.
Whenever this takes place, they do not alert everybody that, holy shit, there's water inside the building now.
Yeah.
They do not talk about it. So they do not inform many of the employees about it.
Oh, good.
There currently is people in the restaurant. They experience this huge jerk. It pierced in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get the watertight doors shut, but you know what? Sometimes whenever you poke holes in the wrong place, doors don't help. Science, no.
Well, and like there's a layer of structure of like, yeah, these are like big boats. You're supposed to have all these redundant systems, right? The thing about the Titanic wasn't that it didn't have these sort of watertight bulkheads that would have saved everybody. It's that they didn't go all the way up. And so eventually the water filled up and went over the top and then came down into the next section. Um, so like people do think about these sort of redundancies, right? And to take that a little farther, right? When you think about really robust systems or whatever it is you're trying to build, right? You can take it to 90%, right? 90% of the time, everything's great. And then you have that 10% where like, eh. We think about that in civil engineering terms with like flooding, right? You reach a point at which buying yourself like a little bit more is just becomes cost prohibitive. And so there's always that businessy sort of question around like, did you buy enough safety? Um,
The answer is no. Spoiler.
yeah, yeah. Bleh.
My first thing was like, they didn't alert anybody that
Yeah,
something had happened.
yeah,
So it was just no one knew anything, but everyone felt not just a
sure.
little whoops, like they felt, what is it? Is it Mandrake Strait? Like where it's
Mhm.
super hardcore. Felt like the
Oh,
whole
like
fucking
Magellan
boat
Magellan
shake.
Strait. There we go.
The,
Yeah, no, like
the Mandrake.
Ah! Sorry. I have seen Harry Potter.
So we have zero communication. Nobody knows what's going on. The boat is filling with water.
Yeah,
Currently, people are being told, in the kitchen, you have people where there is a strong, very similar to 1899. If people haven't seen it, you should fucking watch it. But the big thing is don't watch it in dubbed because everybody speaks different languages.
sure.
So it's a huge aspect of communication
Mhm.
being an issue. So, there should be some training for like codes or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's sure there's codes for the ship is fucking sinking. Uh, but in the cafeteria
Yeah,
or dining room or whatever, the chefs are like, they have already had boiling hot water, all the soups, everything has exited its container
yeah.
and, slush them around like a little aquarium. And they are being told, you need to stay here an hour or two. You're going to have to serve dinner to all these people. Like,
Yeah.
chop, chop. What is your take on that, James?
Unsurprised. Utterly unsurprised. Just from a pure business management standpoint, yeah, like why would you let anybody know that there was a major emergency? Why would you let them sort of help plan a response? But yeah, maybe everything is gonna be okay enough and you're gonna need to serve somebody dinner, but like sandwiches are a thing. Um, no, I do like there's generally a bit around just transparency of what's going on inside any organization, right? Because you want to project to like strength, right? You want to project stability, you want to do all of those things. But at least internally, like when you have hit a rock, the crew knows. This is not their first rodeo. They've probably been on boats before. And they know the boats aren't supposed to do that, right? So your employees are going to feel much the same way. So a little bit of vulnerability, a little bit of transparency goes a long way to being like, hey, things are going to suck for a little bit. We've got it under control. They did not have it under control. But like some shit's happening. We're figuring it out. But be prepared.
So, one of the sous chefs or
Sure.
people in the kitchen is featured in this as he had had a gambling problem and had currently stored all of his money under his mattress in his room.
Okay.
So he is like, there is some kind of accident. I should go get my fucking money.
Yeah.
And so he scurries down and he is on level B. He arrives, stairway. There's a guy there that's like, nope. Level C is full of water. So we have reached level C in this stage of events. He does not get his money, which fucking sucks. Like, it's just like they didn't reimburse him or anything. I was like, that fucking sucks.
But I mean, there are
So
banks. Like, I don't trust him either, but come on.
I just, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Casinos will
so,
take your debit card. It's cool.
so this is when he discloses that, he's not going to go down. Also, because he doesn't know how to swim, which is a requirement for working on a cruise ship.
Okay.
However, a company had just bought out this cruise. So under new management. And
Always
they
good.
needed a whole new crew to manage that ship.
Sure.
So, super fast staffing. He describes his swim lessons because he is like, hey, I don't know how to swim. They're like, don't worry, we'll teach you. They strap a life vest to him, throw him in, and this is how he describes it, throw him into the water. He floats for a second and pull him out, and they're like, passed.
Okay.
So at this moment, we're gonna come back to him. He is there being like, oh shit, all my money is gone and
Yeah.
I don't
And the
have
boat
a
I'm on
sweat.
is sinking.
Yeah.
Ungood.
Worst case scenario. Um, so we have the captain who is doing several things that are really strange that
Mhm.
really stood out to me. First person he calls is their crisis hotline for the company that owns the cruise ship.
Okay. Is this,
And
like,
so
a crisis hotline for internal issues? Is this just, like, customer service if I
the
something like my steak is overdone, I need to complain to somebody?
the way it sounds like it is like the PR crisis. Like it is like
Okay.
I've done fucked up.
Okay.
And so you hear him on the phone, like, what have I fucking done? He's talking about, but he is downplaying it
Sure.
to an extreme. Where if almost like whenever I said they touched a rock like that.
Yeah.
So it's not an alert. People on the boat, because they're by an island,
Mhm.
have really great signal.
Mhm.
And they have begun calling the police. The boat
Sure.
is fucking sinking. Something, things
Yeah.
are wrong. They're trying to get on the lifeboats, the lights. Now the generator has failed. Backup generator has failed. Lights go off. Super fun. And they're like, do you need assistance? Captain is like, no, we just had an electrical failure.
Yeah.
And so it's it's like the things that you say whenever you fucked up really bad at work and you don't want to get fired. And they're like,
Mhm.
did you catch this on fire? You're like, oh no, it just was a little warm
Yeah.
in there and happened to scorch its own self. So fire. No, no.
Yeah. I was not aware of a fire until after it had started, or anything that might have led to a fire. Good
So
sign.
your take on the very direct, the downplay.
Yeah. Again, like, totally unsurprised, right? This is a not uncommon thing, particularly from sort of executive leadership, is to do exactly what you're saying, right? Is to downplay that their role in anything, right? This is gonna be like whatever happened in the engine room, right? When they didn't turn the right way or whatever the hell, like, that poor kid is getting hosed. Uh,
Ugh. Captain steered towards the rocks. So just like,
well, and that's the thing, right? Is that what the official story is going to end
yeah.
up being, right? And the more he sort of talks about, like, hey, PR team, as opposed to, hey, Coast Guard, you can kind of see where his head's at in terms of
Yeah.
saving his own ass over anybody else's.
Well, he talks to the police, and I believe at one point he talks to the Coast Guard,
Yeah,
and it's still very much downplayed. So
sure.
any assistance that could have come
Yeah,
is not coming because you have someone very experienced telling you,
yeah.
or I guess he wasn't that experienced. He's kind of a new captain.
But, like, this is the
But
thing, though, right? Like, this is somebody who is from the telling of it, 100% just trying to save their own ass. They have done a very stupid thing, and they're just trying to cover. And the more you try to cover, the worse it's gonna be. Particularly when you get the Coast Guard involved. They do not have a sense of humor about that sort of thing.
all laughing is by accident.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
so
at your
sorry.
expense.
I know it's terrible.
Yeah,
Um, so we have the captain downplaying it.
sure.
Meanwhile, in the bar where we have our lovely dancer, and she is a professional dancer. Not that strippers aren't professionals, but my child immediately was like, "Oh, they had a strip club on the cruise ship?" No, she's like a dancer.
They have entertainment on
Uh,
cruise ships. It could be strippers. Like, why not?
so her boss tells her who she is off. This is not her night working. She's in the
Yeah,
bar. Well, was in the bar having a great time. Get to dancing, ho. Like, entertain them. Like,
yeah,
and she's like, I quit,
yeah.
which is my probably favorite thing that happened in this whole thing was
Totally
in
understandable.
all the movies where you
Yeah,
see like people being assigned to do dumb stuff, and you're like, why didn't they just quit? Someone does, and it was her. So we never hear about the lady who demanded she dance for the patrons of the bar while the ship is sinking.
Dance, monkey. Uh,
So
utterly lacking of the romance of like the string quartet on the Titanic, right? And just get up there and dance to like
nothing.
probably the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s.
It's just, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I feel. Well, at this point, there's no electricity. So she's
Yeah.
just like dancing to nothing.
To what?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
like, so I'm like, here's another layer of
Yeah.
fucked upness of things that just went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So around this time, the boat is like 20% not straight.
Yeah. Hard to argue now that something has gone wrong.
And so people are wanting to get on the lifeboats.
Yeah. Not unreasonably, I would think.
Yeah. People are loading up. They're having to run up the stairs in the dark. It's really, lights are going in and out. One of the lady, of course, this is like, I can't remember what generation of iPhone we were on, but like it's like so many iPhone videos.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies has, I guess, a digital camera, and people are starting to say their names
Mm-hmm.
and where they're from on camera. And you realize why they're doing that. So you're like, oh, fuck. Meanwhile, Captain is like, so there is water in the boat. Has yet to say that the boat is sinking.
Yeah.
Has yet to give the order to get the fuck off the boat. So the dancer lady, now the boat has turned so much that the super wide cruise ship corridors has now become like this fear factor.
Sure.
Jump.
Yeah.
And so they are helping the people from the bar jump across to grab the railing to get across so they can get to lifeboats.
Sure.
She is one of the people that has no one to help her jump. You quit your job for nothing. No. So she is stuck now on that side of the boat, that is. So you have the people on the boats that's now like this, trying to get into lifeboats. And lifeboats have to go in the water, correct?
Yep. Generally the plan.
All right. James, engineer us with how would you lifeboat this into action?
There's one side you can get down, probably. That's the side closer to the water. Getting into it's going to be a huge pain in the ass because it's going to swing out away. So you got to haul that sumbitch back. You're going to put 40 or 50 people in it, and then you're going to let it swing as it drops down, and hopefully it doesn't just like dump everybody into the ocean. But the high side, like you would just scrape down the side of the boat. If there's a reason, and this is actually a regulation that I'm aware of because I was working with the Coast Guard on a thing a few years ago, that like there's a tilt that you can actionably get onto lifeboats about, and past that they're kind of useless. It's just really hard to get in and out of them.
So we have reached the really hard to get in and out of.
Yeah.
One of our main characters, husband, wife, baby.
Yeah.
Apparently baby that she had just conceived that day. I was like, of all days. They get in one of the boats on the high side. They're like, yes, lifeboat me, captain. Not captain, but random crew worker that's launching the boats.
Former dancing lady, now captain of this lifeboat.
Yeah. So they start to lower, and it starts rolling.
Yeah.
Flipping everybody around. They happen to be some of the very, very few people that are on the top of the pile of people inside the lifeboat. And they have to make a human chain to get out of the boat back onto the sinking ship, all with baby. Child is fine, surprisingly. I was like, how do you fear of water, for no reason? No, you hand her a glass of water. She's like, no, get away. Okay. So we have people that work there rolling people down the ship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just trying to get somebody off, right? What options do you have at that point other than give her a go and maybe it'll work and some of these people will be okay?
See, I am looking at the compliance. I'm like, was there ever a training?
Well, and that's the thing, right? You say that they were very quickly staffed, right? Was there ever a training, right? apparently, like, did they went to these, I've never been on a cruise. I've seen videos about it, though, of, like, they're supposed to, like, know what place they're supposed to go to, right? That's the first thing you
Yeah.
do when you get on a cruise. Um, the people who are in charge of them are supposed to be, like, extensively trained. And so, yeah, did anybody know what they were supposed to be doing? But you go back to, at what point should they have been told, "Oi, get everybody the fuck off the boat"?
Yeah.
Um,
In the beginning, when it was, you have the engineer talking about the fucking ship is flooding.
Yeah.
And you see him at one point emerge soaked from below. So we now have people back on the boat from the launched lifeboat. So now, no more boats can be launched from this side.
Yeah.
So now the point, you have to get to the other side of the boat.
Which is a great slide across the entire deck. Yeah.
It is a literal great slide that they had to
Yeah.
do. And they're able to get across. They hit their baby's head super hard
Mm.
in the process of sliding down as furniture is sliding down with them.
Yeah.
But they make it. Yay. Baby is fine. I was just like, show us the baby. I need to know if the baby's okay. At this point, you have Mr. Captain.
Yeah.
And they're asking him if he is abandoning ship. And he is saying everything but abandon ship. Everything but. He is now admitting the ship is, going, taking on water at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
But he is not giving the order to abandon ship. Just people should leave the boat.
Maybe don't hang around. Maybe just, but not, it's not that bad, right? It's when you start to hear rumors about layoffs. It's not actual layoffs yet, but if you have the ability to get out of the sinking ship, you should.
And I'm sitting there being like, this is like the hardest I've ever seen someone try to save their job.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, your job's fucked. Like, your job is fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
this is genuinely just the bit where you're trying to keep your ass out of jail.
So this is where we make the choice to go to jail.
Yeah.
So we left our little guy from the kitchen standing there being like, oh shit, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
A friend was like, okay, we're going to get you on a lifeboat. We're going to figure this out. And they scurry. And as they scurry, they see the captain in one of the fucking lifeboats.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this is super bad.
Yeah.
Super bad.
Is this the last one? Like, he's supposed to be here. Nope. His ass just gone.
Yeah. So they know the ship's sinking. The captain has left. Everything is fucked. They are now launching the lifeboats on the side of the ship. That's like this, where now the ship is towering over the launching lifeboats. I really want to know what were the chances of the ship falling on them?
Well, judging by the pictures that I saw later, extremely high because it's on its side.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, dude, you're getting not just into a boat. You got to get the hell out of the way because it's a skyscraper right there. Yeah. Some of those are like 16, 17 floors high, right? That's a huge amount of weight. That's even the wave that's going to come when that thing inevitably tips over. Is gonna I don't know how big these boats are, maybe 30, 40 feet, something like that. They're not big compared to this ship. And yeah, you got to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Even if you're like little fishing boat sinks, right? Like that's always the thing that we got told growing up in Florida. Like if that boat goes down, you got to swim away from it, otherwise it'll suck you down behind it. Like that somebody will squish you.
And so you also have people that are now getting into the water, which is freezing in January. I don't know what I was thinking when I guess being in Texas, I was like, just swim, you're fine. Just go for it, friend. Like, land is right there.
Didn't jump into the water on your way up, did you?
No. Whenever I saw everyone wearing clothes at the beach, I was like, not a swimming beach. Not a swimming beach.
Not right now, anyway.
So, ship is rapidly flipping over, all the good stuff. We kind of know how little guy gets off the boat, people with the baby, everybody gets off the boat, minus the people who made poor decisions. There's a lady who went back for comfortable shoes. And I was like, "You're gonna die. That'll be your last words," as I went to change my shoes.
Yeah, just get the fuck off the boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Take off your shoes.
Just go. Just go. Be uncomfortable for a bit in a
Yeah.
lifeboat. Just a matter of priority setting there. Sorry to her family and friends, but that does seem like a not great decision.
It was like she asked her daughter to come with her. Like, it was like a group, and her daughter was like, "No, I'm staying here." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like,
Yeah. Don't split up the group, right? That's the other way. You never
rule
split up somebody for
one,
the monster, then each one of you gets eaten. It's
horror story rules.
yeah,
Um, the dancer lady gets rescued by helicopter. Their other characters get rescued.
sure.
Okay. So more things get released. You have the Coast Guard demanding the captain get back on the boat
Yeah,
on a phone call. So it's a USB drive that is recovered, and they are literally screaming at him
yeah,
to return to the boat. And he's like, "No, thank you." All right. So we have the captain being demanded to get back
yeah.
on the boat.
Unsurprising.
So definitely a go to, I mean, you already left the boat, but I feel
Yeah,
like having the Coast Guard scream at you to get back on the boat is a different level of you are going to jail.
yeah. Very much. Very much. They have expectations of you, as the captain of a boat. Like they should know where you are and what you're doing. And if they don't, yeah, you're fucked.
So we have the overall Captain Goes 5 for the
Yeah,
shoreline salute. We have the 13 seconds of error in what way you should turn. We have
sure.
no one being informed of anything that's
Yeah,
happening. We have a ship that is freshly taken over by a new company,
yeah.
freshly staffed, enough where prior to all this happening, the captain was like, "I feel very uncomfortable with all of this new staff."
Mm-hmm.
So he voices his concerns with the staff. You have
Yeah,
chef telling people to keep working. You have dancing lady being demanded to dance.
yeah.
People rolling down the sides of ships.
Sure.
And of course, people passing on. And what seems to happen is it all comes down on the captain.
Which, to be honest, makes a lot of sense to me. Right? Like, yeah, you may have had concerns, man, but like, you have a lot of autonomy and authority to make decisions around how things work. And like a thing that you might have gotten away with normally, like with an experienced crew that's worked together, right? This bit where I'm going to deviate a little bit to like be the captain, he's probably gotten away with it before, right? Like that doesn't, to me, does not seem like the biggest deal possible until you run into the fucking rocks and everybody dies. Like
So earlier in the cruise, he was bragging to someone about he would leave the cruise ship to go fishing, which seems like you could do it from the cruise ship.
they're really
Just saying.
tall. I would imagine it's a little more difficult, but like,
I mean, longer line. I don't
yeah.
know.
Also, there's another bit, and like this is a particular responsibility around like very high risk things. Right? Like, no, you don't get to leave. Right? That's like your surgeon fucking off in the middle of you getting a procedure done. Right? Like, you're just not allowed to leave. The pilot is like, they go for like like a bathroom break, but you don't get to like fuck off to the back and just let it go. Right? That's why there's two or three of them on a flight. Right? That's why there should be somebody to like monitor everything while he's. But you don't leave it in the hands of like a junior resident to do a surgery. Like you don't get to leave. Like that's why you get the big paycheck. What the fuck?
It's so I feel like, and here's where I'm going to argue with you. Why I feel like, yes, what he did was terrible.
Mhm.
He was also put situationally in a shitty situation.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hadn't driven to the fucking rocks,
Yeah.
the boat would still have been upright, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. However, if it was a crew that had been trained slightly more than just a toss into some water, and had the codes or whatever you need, ship language spoken between them, so much would have gone more smoothly. So a situation could have been terrible. But in that case, people get to live.
Well, I think that's so. There is both a systemic issue, right? People were not appropriately trained, and there's a personal issue of the captain just not telling people to do shit. Because that's a big deal, right? Because like 13 seconds to not hit a rock is an important thing to think about in terms of like what went wrong. The hours afterwards, where we didn't just get everybody off the boat and then sort it out, that was the real fuck up, right? Like everybody could have survived and the boat would have still fallen over at some point, but it would have been like 2 people on board, one of whom should have been the captain. Or like once everybody else is off, like, dude, get your ass out of there too. Talk to the Coast Guard, right? Like, there are systemic issues, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit that this one human being could have done that would have impacted everything else.
Sure. I'm gonna have to look it up. Like, if he had done the right things, like, one of the things was he didn't do the sirens or any announcement until there was no announcement, from my understanding, but the sirens went off after a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
So people were not warned to, hey, fucking leave your room. If he had done everything right, what are his chances of not being sued?
I mean, 0. Like, he's going to get sued. Everybody's going to get sued, right? But that's better than people dying. And I think if we're going to name the episode that, is like a lawsuit is better than like killing someone's grandmother. Like, you're going to get sued and go to jail then, right? You can declare bankruptcy after a civil suit, right? Like, it sucks for a long time, but like, it's just money. Yeah. Don't kill grandmas.
I'm just like, was he just trying to be able to be a captain again? Like, was that the goal?
Yeah.
Whenever I listen to the language, it just sounds so hard, like someone be like, don't take my job.
Yeah. Well, then, like, I think there's almost certainly that self-preservation aspect of it. I just want to be able to like continue to do this, and I have made. I'm fully aware that I have made terrible mistakes in this process that are going to prevent that from happening ever again. Right? If I had handled this appropriately from go, one, it wouldn't have happened because I wouldn't have been a dickhead and driven into the rocks. But yeah, like many points, it sounds like he could have changed the direction of this process by simply handling it in a way. I'm making a broad assumption about his personal training. He was probably aware things were supposed to have gone. Like whether or not the crew was, different question. I still think that there's a piece there that like he could have probably pushed back more and been like, no, we need to do more. Right? I am uncomfortable with this. This feels very weird. But if he was really that uncomfortable, why not play it really conservatively and not drive near the rocks? So like I think that plays to your CYA angle on this too. Of like, oh, but all of my concerns as I'm like hot rodding my cruise ship into the jetty or wherever they are. I don't know.
It was like a super rocky beach. So I'm just having recently seen my first rocky beach. I imagine it was like that. And they were like, hey, there's rocks. And he's like, nah, I got this. And it was like, whoops.
So yeah. No, I like this is a very classic sort of I did one thing wrong. And then rather than just take responsibility for it and try to just make the best of everything else, I'm just going to keep going until there's no way possible to salvage anything out of this.
Fucked up on a whole new level. Whole new level of fucking up. I think I'm trying to be like Enron, as if I don't think anybody died with Enron, like on levels of fuck ups. I also think more people should have been sued, though.
Oh yeah,
Like dancing ladies bus, chef man,
Yeah.
telling people cook. They would have been there making sandwiches whenever the
Yeah.
kitchen filled with water. Like there's just so many things,
Yeah.
and I just
Well, and here's the so Americans being like genetically litigious, um, you got to go after the deep pockets, right? Like the captain's
that's not
going
the
to prison,
captain. Yeah,
sure, but like that the guy who's running
yeah,
the kitchen does not have deep pockets.
yeah.
He's not carrying
Drew's
in
fine.
the millions of dollars in insurance, right? He was just a big dickhead, and hopefully,
Yeah.
like karma catches up with him, and he's a nematode in his next life, and like I don't know, maybe he died, and that's why everybody's got the runs now in the states. It's just cryptosporidia, I guess is what it is. But apparently, if you give the president some money, you don't have to pay have her get all your leaves back. But no, like if you're gonna sue somebody, you got to find the right pockets, right? And so yeah, it's gonna be the company that owns the boat. It's gonna be the captain, because I assume he has to carry a huge amount of liability insurance, and if he doesn't, I do, and I just designed sewers. I'm gonna be really pissed off about that.
I just feel like, especially, see, if I was on the boat, I would be suing the company.
Yeah,
Like, I wouldn't go after the captain as much as everyone should have had enough training.
yeah,
Like, he should have had enough knowledge that everything that he did was super bad.
yeah,
Or maybe, have looked at a map
yeah.
at some point and knew
Did
this
you see the
beach
thing
is
about the Blue
rocky.
Angels flyover in Pensacola? Where the
No.
dude's like 80 feet off the deck and just sprays everybody with jet exhaust and like knocks a bunch of people over and blows their shit everywhere. Yeah, like I don't care how well trained you are. Sometimes you're just an idiot. And of course, nobody's gonna get punished by it because the Secretary of Defense came out and was like, "Yeah, boy, that's some cowboy shit." And yeah,
Me when I almost get killed by a jet. What the fuck?
yeah,
Um,
it's a wild video.
so what I'll be doing directly after this. But it was so shocking to me. Like,
Yeah,
yes, the disaster is so terrible, but the company business aspect of it is so fucked up.
yeah.
Like, then I started thinking about, like, with lifeboats, is there preparation for if one side of the ship can't launch?
How do you do the math, right? Because you're fully expecting, as the designer of one of these boats, right? You like it's a known thing, right? Again, like we talked about it earlier, that there's an amount of tilt where one side is functionally useless. And so I would imagine the company that designed it built some factor of safety into it, but they were also at some point making the very reasonable assumption that the person who is operating the boat is not a total shithead and would start getting people off faster. So they probably don't have capacity on one side to get everybody off. Like,
I'm just like, why? I
yeah.
Now, not that I ever plan on going on a cruise because I that is a terrible way to go. Um,
It's not
for
all the
me.
Poseidon Adventure, right? Like it's just
I've seen like Ghost Ship, 1899. Like I have gone down the cruise ship rabbit hole. No, no,
yeah.
no. But
Mostly it's just norovirus and drunks. So
that's gonna be one of our next our
the
next
topic of
watches.
the norovirus and drunks.
I
James is happy to
just
have salads and whiskey. It'll be great.
I mean, right now I had my sister on my way up here call me and be like, "Do not eat any vegetables." And I'm just like, "What is happening in America?"
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I feel like, oh gosh, I want to see someone like redo the entire thing, but not like just do employees
Mhm.
that were on the other side, like the PR people.
Yeah.
Like the first person who got the call and was like, "You touched a rock?"
Wait, wait, huh? One more time.
Like, I want those, like,
Yeah.
all of those people on how are we gonna spin this? How are we gonna talk about it? Like, how are we nailing down the captain already and
Yeah.
throwing all blame on him?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I wanna know, like, that, like, the cruise line's response. Like, I
Everything
would
you can
not.
do to defer responsibility onto somebody else, and yeah.
Like, and I
But
mean, he
also, like,
served it up though on a
yeah.
plate. Like, all of the things.
Yeah.
Like, he was a dream. Like, he was
Yeah.
like, if I was, like, on the PR, I was like, "How are we gonna get out of this?" And then I'd, "Oh, well, there you go.
There you
Oh,
go.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, this is
Operator error,
great."
right? Like,
Like,
this is just him. It's not just him. Um,
no, but gosh, like,
yeah.
I remember that's what I really remember besides seeing, the ship on its side and being like, "That's why I don't go on cruises."
Yeah.
Um, but then talking about the captain leaving the ship
Yeah.
because even I know, and I don't try to I feel like I try to know nothing about cruises by watching nothing but stuff about cruises. I know that's bad.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Again, it's like if something goes wrong on a flight and your pilot takes the only parachute and, like, fucks off, right? What's everybody else supposed to do? Like, maybe there's another person on there who can fly the plane, but, like, they're not supposed to be in charge. Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Also, like, I mean, take a hit and run. Like,
Yeah.
you can't, you should not hit and run people.
Yeah.
It's another lesson of the day. Um, but you have to stay at the
Yeah.
accident.
And again, right, like, you look at what the penalties are for what happened, right? And yeah, dude, are you never going to be a captain of a cruise ship again? Probably. You did something real stupid and you fucked up the boat. If everything else goes totally according to plan and you evacuate everybody and everybody's safe and they've just got kind of a fun, like a big story to tell, and then the boat falls over when there's nobody on it, like, and the Coast Guard is out there just hanging out watching it, like everybody's cool. Like, yeah, dude, you're gonna get sued and everything's gonna be awful, but you're probably not going to prison. And as soon as people start getting hurt because you don't want to admit that things have gone horribly wrong, yeah, like that's when it gets real bad. Like, you gotta own your mistakes, kids, and that's 1,000,000% what is the failure to do made it so much worse.
I think I'm trying to think of like, I think the biggest amount of help he asked for was a tugboat.
No, no, no,
Like, what were they gonna pull him towards?
no, no. Off
Like,
the rocks, obviously.
just like, also, why did we not get on the rock? Well, I guess the ship is falling on top of the rock, so
Yeah,
that would have been a bad thing to do. Don't follow my advice in
yeah,
extreme situations. I'd be like, everyone to the rock, and then the
yeah.
ship falls on us. Um,
Travis is the one that turned the ship to starboard rather than port.
I'm like, which direction are you standing, Captain? Like,
Got,
it,
like,
it doesn't
SNL
matter.
tattooed on
That's
your hands. It's just
oh man. But yeah, so there's our reaction
yeah.
to the business side of just the biggest fucking fuck up.
Yep.
Like,
Don't be a fuck up, kids.
yeah,
Just own your shit. And yeah,
don't
sometimes you get fired, and that's the thing that just happens. Especially if you're in the consulting world, you're gonna get fired. Don't worry about it. Like,
better to
it's
be fired than in jail.
yeah, always, always.
Yeah.
Freedom is better.
Yeah. And haunted by ghosts, I'm assuming. Jail and haunted by ghost.
Yeah, yeah. Freedom and haunted by ghosts, much better. Uh,
Or own your fuck up and just
yeah,
freedom and poor.
yeah. No, like, yeah. At every stage, something could have gone better, right? And then yeah, he just didn't. Right, the cascading
Just
effects of somebody's dumbass decision. So
it's I almost like want you to watch it just to like listen to the captain moments and just be like, because they focus a lot on the people on the ship,
sure.
obviously. But the captain moments are just so like it is like it physically hurts to listen to because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Same with, like, other people that should be trained in what to do.
Yeah.
Res
Well, like, and I've definitely talked a lot of shit about this guy, but, like, there should be several other bridge officers who know what's supposed to happen, and that nobody was like, "All right, dickhead, this is not going well. I'm the captain now."
Yeah. Good time to mutiny would be this. This would have been it.
Again, like, maybe you get in trouble for it. Maybe you don't get to work again, and that really sucks, but people aren't dead, and they're gonna think very highly of you at your trial. So
And I think in that situation, you could open your own little tour boat. People are really going to trust you. You know who can't have a tour boat, even if he didn't go to jail? That guy. Because I
that
would
guy.
not get on a tour boat, like, even just right off the coast. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, he can't be trusted off the
yeah.
coast.
Well, and, like, how do you know, right? There was a fishing tour company up here that just had a horrible accident. Um, and yeah, it turned out like terrible maintenance practices, horribly undertrained captain, like total lack of safety precautions, right? People are supposed to be wearing life vests, they're not. Um, and it sinks. And like there's some weird stuff around it, but like even and they're not even far from where we are, right? But it's the ocean and it's pretty big and it takes time to get there. And even with the Coast Guard and other boats responding, right, they saved 2 people out of like 12. Um, so yeah, be careful, kids.
Yeah. If you are an Olympic swimmer, don't get on a cruise. There's my rule of the day. Like,
Just like, well, it's like going to the fair, right? I like going to the county fair. I don't get on the rides. I grew up
uh,
around Disney. Disney has a genuinely a nearly perfect safety record. Like there have been things that have happened and people have died, but that's because they were dumb, not because Disney was dumb. You cannot stand up on Space Mountain. Like it will cut you into pieces because you will hit another piece of the track going 60 miles an hour. Like, sorry, that's you. But yeah, like there, I'm happy to go on roller coasters at reputable theme parks. I would not do it at the fair. And that's just the game that you're playing here too, right? Like, what's the risk you're willing to take? And then, how much meth does it look like the operators used today? And if the answer is none, that's an appropriate amount.
as someone who used to live in meth country, you're safe on the fair. No,
Yeah.
I see, that makes me question everything because I'm like, I get on the rides.
Yeah.
And I guess because I think like this is a situation,
Yeah.
not a slow,
Yeah.
where you get lots of time to think about drowning and how cold the water is
Yeah.
and why the fuck did he announce? But yeah,
Good times.
good times. We are not sponsored by any cruise lines.
Yet.
Norwegian Cruise Line sponsor us.
I don't even know which cruise line it is. I just know the name of the boat. Like,
uh, that's the one I see commercials for.
yeah.
That's the only thing I know. They talk about flip flops, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? But there you go, kids.
Yeah.
Own
Y'all
your
have fun with
mistakes.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good week. We talk to you later. Bye.